In the process of making my daily 1k, I lost my daily 1k. I know that's so crazy, but yeah, it did happen. So today I took a major loss in the market, losing like about $1,000 on the trade I actually analyzed on USDCAD. Alright, so I could have hidden this, I could have acted like the losses didn't happen, and then probably act like those your gurus that don't show you his or her losses, right? But they only show you the wins, selling you false dreams, right? That is the truth. They sell you false dreams. So I could have hidden it, but I didn't. Here am I. I'm here telling you about my losses and also telling you about the lessons I literally learned. Because you know, in the market, what market use to correct you is $1. For every loss that you make or for every mistake that you make, you're going to lose $1 and above, right? So in this video, I'm literally going to walk you through what happened and the things I actually did wrong and how I plan on bouncing back, right? As you know, as a trader, losses are part of the game. If you cannot handle losses, then trust me, you're not ready for this journey at all. Because when market is going to smack you down over 5 times, 10 times, if you're not able to stand up, then you actually all right. So stick with me to the end of this video so you can actually learn these lessons that I actually learned from this particular trade I took. Welcome back, guys. So just like I made mention, I took a major loss in the market today, and there was a whole lot of lessons that I learned. Right. So firstly, there's something I've learned about life, and that's the fact that in order for you to progress in whatsoever that you are doing, you need to be very, very consistent in what you're doing. Right. The more consistent you are, the more likely for you to excel in what you do. Right. So now to reflect that in trading, because it doesn't just end in life, but life generally, including trading. Because you know, in trading, people, what to trade is what people's feeling, right? We have people with different sentiments, buying and selling, people with different buyers, and so on and so forth. Right now, there's a mistake I was actually, or should I say, there's a misunderstanding I made when it comes to consistency. Me introducing consistency into the financial market. I had this mentality that consistency was all about having just a consistent risk. All right, if you're going to take a risk in a particular day, or if you're going to find yourself risking in a particular market, you need to be consistent with that risk. If it's that you want to be risking 0.5%, you need to be consistent in that risk, not knowing that there's more to that consistency. Right, I neglected the fact that I also needed to and had to include as well consistent strategy. Aside from consistent risk, I neglected consistent strategy, consistent methodology, all right, consistent trade, or shall I say instruments, when it comes to you consistently just focusing on just one instrument, and rather than finding yourself everywhere in the market. Now that was a major mistake that I made today, and when I made this mistake, I reflected back where I did tell myself that if I'm going to be taking a trade, or if I'm going to settle for trading Forex, I need to ensure that I'm as well consistent in a particular instrument that I'm to trade. Now, what I decided as a person was the fact that I was going to find myself trading consistently on gold, right? Because you guys know I trade just 3 pairs, but I needed to focus on just one. That's gold, USOIL, and USDCAD, right? So I made a decision that I was going to focus on gold only, but today I broke more of a promise, which I'll call it a promise, right? Something I promised myself not to do. I broke it, and then it actually cost me. So today, instead of trading gold, I had a very, very beautiful opportunity on gold. All right, instead of me trading gold or waiting for gold, I went ahead looking out for trading USDCAD, right? And there's something you need to know about strategies in the market. Less is more. True or true, right? Less is more. The lesser you trade, the more that you expected to see profits. When you see someone that is probably is not successful in this business, you can classify them as gamblers. They can't really just wait for market to do what it's meant to do before they actually take an entry or take whatever, right? In this case, I was found as a gambler because I didn't really have patience on waiting for prices to actually tap on my interest level zone on gold. But instead, I went ahead going against my will, which is trading USD CAD, risking my entire daily risk, and that's literally did piss the hell out of me. But that's fine, right? No one in this life is actually perfect. We learn from mistakes. I think this is literally the first time I'm finding myself doing something like this after making a decision that okay, I need to start sticking with trading consistently on a particular instrument, aside from using a consistent strategy. Because I won't lie to you, back then, I think 2023 or 2022, I was making use of different strategies, right? And I found myself caught up with the loss rates of different strategies, not having in mind or not considering that I'm meant to focus on one. Because as a trader, for every strategy that is out there, it has its win rate and also it has its loss rate. So I was there just focusing on every single thing. I was focusing on trend line, focusing on price action, focusing on so many things, just name it. I even did a lot wave strategy. That is one crazy thing I did. But due to the fact that the information in that was very vast, I had to run away from that kind of trading because I believe in simplicity. Right? I believe in simplicity. When it comes to trading the financial market, it shouldn't be as difficult as people think it is, right? It's meant to be just done smoothly and simply, right? So I'm going to actually break down the trade I actually took, which turned out to be a loss. If it's that I was focused on trading just USD CAD throughout, trust me, I will still be profitable. Alright, if it's that I was only focused on trading USD CAD throughout, I will still be profitable, because last week or last weeks I could have made some certain wins from USD CAD. But when I found myself trading USD CAD and gold, I was being caught up with the different win rate and loss rates trading on each individual pairs. Do you understand? Right? So this is a trade I actually took. A trade I took on actually USD CAD. This is what I was hoping to see on gold. You can see this is gold. I was hoping to see prices come to this area of demand and push it upside. But what happened? It was taking my time, and I went ahead doing a very, very crazy ass, or making a crazy ass decision, and that is going to USD CAD to go and trade USD CAD. Now, this particular setup that I want to actually break down is not wrong, it's not invalid. But the only issue that I believe I had here, aside from me focusing on the wrong pair, the only issue I believe I had here was that we had an early entry. That's what I'm going to call it. This was literally an early entry. But in a normal scenario, we are meant to actually take a trade here. But market eventually liquidated us and is likely to start pushing back to the upside. So let me quickly do a breakdown of what I literally saw, which made me to actually take this buy. Right? So let's do a top-down analysis. So on the 4 hours, let's see something. So on the 4 hours, we saw a very nice, crazy ass level of demand. As you guys can see around this region, we have the rally, base, and then a rally, right? We had market retracing into that area of demand. We had presence of fair value gap. As you can see, I think there's a fair value gap here from this high, right, from this high. Let me delete this. Okay, from this high to the low, right? You could see presence of fair value gap. Market came into that area, inverted its fair value gap, tapped on the demand, and reacted swiftly from there. So we had a very nice area of demand around this region, as you can see, right? We saw prices giving us a very, very nice, beautiful fair value gap here as well. It tapped on a fair value gap, then tapped on the demand zone, right, and then it reacted swiftly. So going to the lower time frame, we could as well see prices doing something beautiful, and that is the fact that market left us with what, another area of demand, which is spotted on the 2 hours. You can see this is where we had the demand zone, and that is where prices or market is currently retracing from. All right, So aside from this area of demand, there was actually another demand zone found above it, or should I say an interest level zone found above it. So if I'm to go to the 15 minutes, you're going to see, based on what we understand, we get to understand that market is trading what impulsively. We had a tap on that 4 hours demand, which is here, and market is expected to start pushing to the upside to break out from this previous higher high. So this is where market is targeting to get to, right? So in process of making the higher high, internally we need to see prices in an uptrend. So in this case, I literally saw that there was a demand zone here. We saw a rally, a base, which is consolidation, and then a strong rally. The market went to the upside, caused a break of structure, it left us with a demand zone. Alright, so thereafter we saw a nice beautiful retracement inside of this area of demand. Look for confirmation if there was any, and we had a very, very nice confirmation. So we had a trend change confirmation here, but at the end of the day, market went ahead fetching out the liquidity found at this area. So as you can see, we can see a very, very nice equal low liquidity around this level. This is very, very clear. So we had an equal low liquidity that market came to. We didn't enter the market here because of that liquidity level. We needed to confirm that liquidity was being fetched before we actually came up with our entry, right? So aside from this area of liquidity, we also had this low being a swing low liquidity that market could also have likely had its liquidity sweep from. Alright, so in this case, what did I do here? I literally saw that there was a very, very nice liquidity sweep here. We had a buy around this region, right? We had a buy around this region, and then we had our stop loss directly on this area of demand, looking out for we taking profits where above this higher high. So the risk was actually worth it, but what wasn't worth it was me going against my plan. I won't lie to you. So if it's that I was strictly just following or trading only just USDCAD, I could have calmly just taken this trade without being bothered about whatever was going to happen. But in this case, I know that I told myself that I'm meant to be trading gold only, but I went ahead trading USDCAD, and that's because I wasn't patient enough for gold to actually provide us with a trading opportunity, right? So if that I took this trade, now that I took this trade, what may have happened was that market may react from here, push the upside, giving us like about I think this is about 1:8, as you can see. This is 1:8. This is how much you could have actually gotten from this trade. So if it's that my risk was 1%, I know I'll be up like about, if the market went to my trade profits, I know I'll be up like about 8%, which is what's the risk, right? So what happened literally here was that prices literally came, took our liquidity yet again. After what I believe was a liquidity sweep, it came to take more liquidity in order to tap on this area of demand, which is spotted on the 2 hours or 3 hours, right? So now that we've seen this, there's still a potential for price to still push the upside, but with the lesson I learned, I'm not ready to actually take this trade anymore, because I'm going to be taking back to trading gold, right? I'm meant to only look out for trading gold, not USDCAD. But for people that actually trade USDCAD, have in mind, right, that we have a very, very nice potential level around this area where prices is likely to get its buying power from, in order to push us to the upside to create a new higher high, right? So I think this video is going to bear me witness. I would not make this mistake again in my life, because obviously a mistake that has been made twice is no longer a mistake, right? That is now something you're deliberately doing. When you make a mistake and you learn from the mistake and you go ahead making the same mistake, then you haven't learned anything. You understand? So I'm going to use this video to actually judge myself. I'm literally going to focus on trading gold from now on, like from now and maybe other days, right? The reason why I left gold for a minute was literally because we had the whole Trump thing going on, the tariff and so on and so forth. So it literally destroyed gold's movement. Majority of people, I'm sure it's not just only me, I'm sure you yourself took a major loss of gold, which made you to literally run away from gold for a reason. Alright, but thank God a friend of mine called me, texted me and told me that I think gold is now settled. We can safely now trade good, right? But aside from that, aside from the core, I've still been having some little fear in me, because at this moment, in this current generation that we find ourselves in, where we have Donald Trump being the president of the United States, anything can happen in the market. Trust me, anything, unexpected movement. But it's not something that we should be surprised about, right? Because literally, market is filled with uncertainties. So unexpected happens. So what we're meant to do is always to be prepared about this uncertainties. So guys, if you liked this video, do well to give it a thumbs up. That's by liking, commenting, and also sharing to your friends and family. I believe you learned something from me. The key thing from this video is what? Consistency. Alright, because I wasn't really consistent. I was focused on being here and there, here and there. I found myself in the middle of different loss rate and win rates of my strategy. Right, and that was because I was focusing on 2 instruments instead of focusing on 1. So as a beginner, try as much as possible to at least focus on just 1 trade. Right, since I've started trading, what I used to teach myself how to trade was trading gold. From day 1, I've been trading gold. It's just recently I introduced trading USDCAD, USOIL, and some other pairs. But from day 1, I literally chose trading gold alone. So as a beginner, try as much as possible to just focus on just 1 pair. Don't be here and there. You're going to cry. Trust me, you're going to cry. And if you don't have money to be here and there, don't try to be here and there. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, right? Because in order for you to trade, you need money. And in a case where you don't want to be consistent in doing what you do, you need to have money to actually accumulate for some losses that you're likely to trade. Because I won't lie, for the trade I actually took today, there was some kind of potential in winning, because I saw a very, very good thing which gave me an insight that this was a high probability trade. So if it's that everything went as planned, I could have been one smiling right now, but we're always prepared for what? Uncertainties. I'm not sad, but I learned. I think that's the greatest thing that you can actually get from the market, and that is what? Lessons. So I'll see you guys in the next video.